I recently challenged my Sculpture 1 students to create a sculpture using only cardboard and glue that expresses a non-tangible concept. What's an example of a non-tangible concept? Something like sound or emotion or the feeling of pride. This is in an effort to get my students thinking about abstraction and what it means to create a work of art that represents something without it being a sculpture of a physical subject. I know this is a really big ask, but my students nailed it. Let's look at some of the things they made. Students had the option to spray paint their work if it helped achieve the goal of their piece. This one is inspired by the sound that water makes. This one is inspired by the song Sunrise by Norah Jones. One of the things I'm so impressed with my students is the variety of non-tangibles that they chose. This one is inspired by the feeling of anger. Looks pretty angry to me. This one was created by a student who considers herself to be more of a shy, introverted person. She created this one inspired by the concept of someone who has an outgoing and bubbly personality. This one is meant to represent the brain when it's feeling stressed and anxious and how it can be pulled in a ton of different directions. This one's meant to represent the feeling that being home gives you versus when you're out in the world and everything is unpredictable. This one is the feeling of camera flashbulbs in your eyes. This one's meant to represent the progression of time throughout the course of a school year. Here we have another visual representation of a song. This song is called Rotten Apple by Alice in Chains. I think all of these sculptures are truly excellent, but I think this one really resonated with me personally because I have a long commute to work in the morning and the afternoons, and this one was inspired by a long morning commute. This one is inspired by the impact that man has on nature and kind of like a man versus nature theme. The student explained it as really organic forms on the left with brutalist geometric forms breaking out through the right side. This one is really interesting and it represents the feeling of getting burnt out in a sport that you've been playing for a long time. We'd love to know which one resonates with you the most.